3 notaries can have court equivalent to any court on this land. This is what they don't want people to really know. Notaries are equivalent to the Court of Chancery. There is a Court of Chancery in each of the 50 states, because technically there is. They don't want you to know. Court of Chancery is the only standing court in America that stands firmly on the Constitution. They cannot rule any other manner, no other manner, and yet they keep those courts closed. So one knowingly know, which is the Chancery of Court, that is in Pennsylvania. The filing fee is $450. It's a little higher than the other courts. Their process is somewhat a little easier than actually going to the other court, and you can transfer any case, whatever, and it's equivalent of being heard in the same state. It has that power. So the notaries have identical power, just 3 or more. They have identical power, and they don't know it. That's where your job description is, and then have you know that. Perhaps you know that you can overrule and take cases, overturn cases yourself. The corporate use the fear of loss. But when the notaries notarize one another, they cannot. But they don't know they have that power either. They cannot, if other notaries are a witness, they cannot use the fear of loss, because that's a method of controlling how you do, what you do, your behavior, defining your job, and what role you to play in your job, by making it mandatory that you have a license or a permit to commit to a job that is technically illegal to do in the first place. We're giving you permission to do something illegal, is basically what a license is. And then we can also use that as leverage, because you've been accustomed to making that's been your line of work for 13 years. So we use the leverage of fear of loss, and suddenly you're going to do what we tell you to do.
What power do we have to force the sheriff to arrest these people and incarcerate them?
It's in the notary manual, and it's quite lengthy. Oh, they have to adhere to it. They are the front lines. The sheriff are supposed to be respondent. When the courts are defunctioning, they have to turn to grand jurors and notaries for correction.
All right, now, is there any, if you do the notary, is there an appeal that can be done on their decisions?
Oh, absolutely. The notaries don't need to go to that of the institution. They have the power. They are the court. Your court is not that building that they call District Court number 10 or 20, District Court 26 or in Louisiana. That's not court. Your court that you establish is 4 square corners. It's called a piece of paper, or the piece of paper is your vessel. The cargo on that vessel is your court. That's a building you're entering into. It is not the proper court. It is not court at all. You are court. So now everybody's running with illegal from the very beginning. You got to trace it all the way back to the Vatican. When you go into that building, you are on a foreign soil. And when you come out of that building, you now have stepped back into the American soil. The court that you bring is in your hand. That piece of paper, the cargo.
What I was getting at is if the notaries do the convicting on this, could they override the notary decision by going to the appeals court on this?
No, they cannot.
That's what I wanted to.
Notary has the same status, the same authority as that of a court of chancery. This is why they use fear of loss by insisting that they be licensed, the fear of loss, because they obviously they didn't even know that there's an instruction manual for them to tell them the many various job descriptions and the authority that they have, like the jury and the grand jury. They don't know either. They have trump. All you need is notaries, 3 or more, and a jury or grand jury. That's your court. You don't need to go to their building. Again, You're going to them for permission to continue to use their facility, their paperwork, their things, their material. You click back and forth to get their permission to do anything. You should create a group, up to 10 people in the group. There should be at least 2 to 3 notaries. There you have court. Any disagreement, it can be settled and resolved with those 3 notaries there. You retrain those notaries and let them know what true power they really have, and then start gathering and calling for jurors and grand juries and get it up and running. That's what they fear the most, is courts being closed down.